talking about things that we would tell our younger selves.
Yep. We thought that kind of breaking it up into these 5 different categories of life to tell our younger selves about would be love, friendship, self-worth / self-exploration, family, and career and finances.
We know that we're not that old, so I guess technically we'd be telling this to our middle school, high school selves.
And maybe like 3 years ago.
Yeah, like last year, honestly.
Learned so much since then. I think being like an adolescent to like now an adult, there's like a lot that changes so quickly.
I think also that there's things that maybe I haven't gone through but you have already, or you haven't gone through.
Yeah, definitely.
So like even if you're older than us by a couple years,
we all experience things at a different pace.
First topic, love.
Which I feel like we've kind of gone through a lot of the love stuff in our relationship episode,
which is episode 2. If you have not listened,
please go listen to that one.
Number 1 for me, don't settle for anything less than you deserve.
Yeah.
I think that's a really big topic, like in itself, just because you can settle for less than you deserve without knowing what you actually deserve.
Yeah. I feel like it's really hard to identify what that really means.
Like, what do I deserve?
Yeah. What the best looks like isn't always so clear.
And it's different for everyone.
Right. Along with that, I feel like something that I wish I could tell myself, my younger self, as well as like my younger like my friends when they were younger.
Right.
I wish I could give them this advice of just because someone's giving you attention or like some type of what you think is love doesn't mean you need to fall for it or continue with that. I should say you don't need to continue anything that doesn't serve you. Like the situation's not working out, please let it go. It's not meant for you, let it go.
I would probably tell my younger self not to get like head over heels over the first guy who gives you attention, because I definitely did that. In the moment I thought he totally broke my heart. Like looking back, I'm like, okay. He was not even giving you the time of day. He did not break your heart. You broke your own heart. I wish I could have been self-aware, but I learned a lot. So, I mean, it's hard to say, like, don't, because then you learn from those experiences. But maybe if you're going through that, just know it's not going to be the end of the world.
I wish I could tell my younger self that boys are literally not everything. Like you don't need it in that moment, especially as like a middle schooler or a high schooler. You don't need it. Like boys are not everything. But it's funny now because I'm dating a woman, so it's just like extra funny. You know what I mean? You can have crushes, but like don't fret over something that's like not even important. Like looking back now, like I wasted so much energy and time and like my emotions over dumb shit. Like I remember crying for stuff like that and like wishing things were different or like praying on something different, and it's like, girl, what the fuck? I wish I could tell myself like also like manifest in different ways too. Self-love, focus on loving yourself and what that means to you, or like friendships,
your parents,
even your passions. Like get into love in a different form. It doesn't have to be in a person.
The sooner you figure out what you're passionate about or what you love about life, the easier it will be for you later on.
Totally, 100%. Don't, like, I wish I could tell myself, like, don't get lost in that fucking, and that's what
the cycle. You don't get lost in the sauce. Listen to what other people tell you about the person you have a crush on, or like, maybe just with a grain of salt, because in high school, most of the time, things end up being true, or it's just gross. Like, I remember always hearing, like, oh, he's an asshole to me, but it's like, oh, but he's so nice to me. Yeah, because he likes you. Like,
because he's trying to do something.
Yeah, he's trying to get somewhere. Also, yeah, see through that. Don't just, like, see that a guy actually likes you for you and wants to do things that you like.
Yeah, and also see how they treat others. Like, that is a big thing. Like, respect in general should be given to everyone, not just one person. And that tells you if they're a good person.
Losing your virginity?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like before you do it, like before you lose your virginity, it's such a big deal. And like you're always like, oh, have you, like to all your friends. Like none of y'all know anything either, so it's really no help at all. Number 1, tell myself to look out for my friends. Like at parties or like kickbacks or like whatever. I feel like it was always something where I think to an extent my friends and I were really good about like looking out for each other, but we would only ask like once or twice, like, are you sure? Are you good? Like, should I come in? when you're that age, like, you don't know if you're good or you're okay, so, like, maybe you should just interrupt the situation and say, like, let's go, and then if it happens again later in the night, then maybe it's something they want, or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I would tell myself, look out for your friend. Number 2, the first time's probably gonna not be great.
No.
It honestly doesn't matter if you're a virgin or not. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter as long as you feel like it's right. And you want to. Because they always say, like, oh, it's right. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? But, like, if you genuinely want to and you don't feel like it's a bad time or, like, a bad person, then do it, because you won't regret it.
Just listen to yourself and what you truly, like, listen to your gut. Like, don't do something that you don't want to. I wish somebody told me, which I feel like they told me the opposite growing up, that, like, your virginity is, like, so pure and you shouldn't, like, let it go and shit like that. And, like, I feel like for me that created, like, this, like, cycle of thinking that if I did something sexual, I was going to be, like, dirty. I wish someone told me, yo, it's just a virginity. It's like, I wish I could tell my younger self what, like, sexual abuse or just, like, abuse in general looks like. I feel like I've built so much trauma from believing that certain situations were okay. And if somebody would have just explained to me, like, no, girl, that isn't right. Like, you shouldn't be feeling this way. You shouldn't be told these things about love specifically and, like, the people that you are in love with.
Like, at the end of the day, maybe I would just tell myself, like, it's okay to talk to your parents or someone.
Oh, for sure.
Like, they're gonna ground you maybe or something if you did something wrong, but, like, if it's gonna save you from hurt in the long run, because they do know best. Like,
and that's yeah. I feel like
in most cases.
That's very situational for sure.
Yeah.
My parents always told me, like, you tell me anything. But, like, as a kid, I didn't believe that. I felt like you're gonna judge me or get me in trouble.
Because you just feel like, I don't know, like, you can do it all by yourself, and, like, maybe that's just a part of growing up and learning, but
oh yeah,
you don't have to go through anything alone. You're gonna learn a lot, sis. Luck on that journey.
Good luck.
That's what I say. R.I.P. to the girl you used to be, because you're gonna go through some shit. Back to your, like, spotting abuse. We didn't learn about that until college. Like, why didn't we learn about that in high school, really? Because I would find myself in sketchy situations with friends, and nothing was done. Like, nobody stepped in, nobody did anything. It's just, like, we were all just like it.
I wish I could tell myself what, like, toxicity looks like, or, like, what to watch out for. I feel like manipulation was also a big thing, and sometimes, like, people don't know. I feel like as a kid with another kid, you know, I don't think anyone really
Knows what they're doing.
knows what they're doing. I wish, like, I could tell myself, you can say, hey, that didn't feel good, that was very mean, I don't appreciate this, I'm gonna walk away. I wish I could just tell myself, you don't have to be scared about what's coming next, like, without this person. You know, if it's meant to be, it'll happen, and it wasn't meant to happen, so it didn't. You know. Next topic, friendships.
Sometimes you grow out of friendships, and that's okay. Sometimes friends decide they don't want to be your friends and they don't give you a reason, and that's okay for you to move on from the situation. I'm not saying it's okay that they did that, but I would tell myself, they're going through their own thing, it's okay, your life will go on after high school.
It's also, like, not your job to seek out why. I wish I could tell my younger self that my mom literally knows who are good friends and who aren't. Like, she can just tell, because every single person she didn't like in my life has fled. There's no one that, like, stuck around that I've been close to that my mom didn't like. I think I would tell myself that you don't need to try to fit in so much. That's hard to tell a kid, though, or, like, someone growing up. I feel like it's so hard to do that now, but I wish I could have started that earlier in life, because it would have made things a lot easier. I feel like I have a bunch of memories of, like, I don't want to call it trauma, but stuff that made me, like, really upset and sad, where, like, I really tried to fit into a situation and I was immediately, like, rejected, and I was like, oh, that's probably because you weren't being fucking genuine, and, like, that's not their fault, but it's also, like, not yours, because you were just trying to fit into the situation and act like somebody else. Nobody likes ingenuine people. Not that I was, like, literally trying to be, like, a complete asshole or anything, but being yourself is what people like, and I wish I could tell myself that over and over and over again, because I was always trying to be somebody else.
Take your friend's advice with a grain of salt.
Oh yeah, because y'all both are dumb and young.
Most likely, you guys are both on the same page, trying to figure things out. You've both experienced different things, so just take their advice with a grain of salt. Say thank you. I appreciate your opinion. Whether you agree or disagree, it shouldn't affect your friendship.
Along with that, I feel like I wish I could tell myself, like, whatever issue people have with you, it's not about you. Like, unless you're doing something out of pocket, but whatever issue they have with you literally has nothing to do with you. Like, don't take it personal. These people don't want to be friends with you. Totally fine. Walk away, find some new friends. You will always find new friends.
And like I feel like I'm just super vulnerable with people I'm interested in, talking to, dating, in a relationship with. And then with my friends, I would keep everything not super surface level,
You're
but
just like fun. Let's just be fun.
Yeah, but also like when I would share deep stuff, I would play it off like it didn't bug me.
Girl, you did that in fucking college too, bitch.
Which, like, I do that in general, but I'm a little more, I guess.
Yeah, you're a lot more open now, but I get what you're saying.
Like, sensitive. I show my sensitive side more.
Sorry.
But I don't like showing my sensitive side to people. I hate it. I don't. And it's
Scorpio ass.
Anyway. And I don't, like, it's not because it's like a pride thing. Like, it's more like I just don't want to bring down the party. I don't want to bring down the mood.
It's not always a party though, girl. Sometimes y'all can take a slow song and chill. But with that, are you saying like you wish you
maybe I wish I would have
shared more?
I wish it's okay to open up to friends because they are there for you.
One thing that I do wish a lot that I wish I could tell myself is I wish I could go back and be like, listen, really, really soak up all these friendship memories you're having because they were fun. I do currently have like a lot of memories that like whatever, but like I didn't cherish them enough. I feel like those like very innocent times of like literally doing simple things like being at each other's houses or like taking bike rides or all that kind of stuff. I wish I would have taken it in more and been like, wow, this is really special.
That just reminds me of that TikTok where it's like,
You have to start romanticizing your life. You have to start thinking of yourself as the main character.
that's my advice. Start manifesting the life you want to live, honey.
Truly.
Friendships, I would say record everything.
Yeah.
I mean, not like everything, like literally
I
not
wish-
everything, but like capture more.
Capture more, whether that's in writing, that's in video, that's in pictures. Because I look back and I'm like, those things are so funny, or they're just like they're just like tender moments.
Yeah. My friends and I in middle school, we had book that we'd pass in class.
Wait, like a notebook?
Yeah.
Me too!
I don't know where all of them are, I think.
I think I have one of them.
I have one of them, but we had like 4. Anything else for friendships?
How would you tell your younger self, like, take friendships seriously, but also don't, because they will change and manifest into other things. You know, that's just what I wish I could tell myself. Like, take it with a grain of salt, but also cherish every moment.
Love that. Love the confusing advice you're sending. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, past Melissa. What the hell?
Third topic is self-worth and self-exploration, which I feel like this is a heavy one.
God, yeah. Wow, she's thick.
Give more validity and more attention to like your gut feeling and what you truly believe, because I feel like a lot of the time I would seek out also like don't seek out external validation for things. Still telling myself that one. But again, like with all these things, I feel like if I learned them earlier in life, it would just be much easier now. But don't seek out external validation and trust your own intuition and your own gut, because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna feel best when you're making a decision. I feel the best when I go through with something that I know is best for me versus like asking someone else like what's best for me and then doing it and then being like, oh fuck, it wasn't right. I feel like that would have built more confidence in myself and like believing in who I am. In terms of like self-exploration, don't try to grow up too fast. Remember my mom telling me always, again, your mom's always right or your parents are always right, but she would be like, why are you trying to grow up so fast? Like enjoy your life, like you have nothing to do right now. And I was like, whatever, I want to be grown. Just be your 12-year-old self. Be your fucking 15-year-old self. Be in the moment of what you're doing, because that's where you're supposed to be. I wish I just like told myself like you don't have to look like this. You don't have to yeah, you don't have to try to fit a certain mold or standard or, I don't know. Don't grow up too fast.
Yeah, I think especially at a young age, body image was like huge.
Yeah.
We have Tiger Beat, all those
17 magazine.
Yeah, all those magazines that were basically telling us this is what looks good on your body, or like,
oh my god,
you
that's
know?
so relevant. In every 17 magazine, there was like a little workout, and I would cut them out and post them on my wall and be like, I'm gonna do them because I want to be skinny or I want to be fit. And it's like, bitch, relax.
You're 12.
Eat your fucking
You're going
candy.
through your weird phase,
Eat
girl.
your hot Cheetos, eat your candy, it's fine.
Because it won't be okay in 10 years. Eat it now.
I can't eat it now, so.
I would say don't compare yourself to your friends, to people online, to celebrities, because more times than not, it's not even their realities.
Oh yeah, especially today.
Yeah, and even your friends. You could look at your friend's body and think that's my goal right there, and they still have things that they hate about their bodies. Just accept where you are, and if you're genuinely unhappy with it, figure out a healthy way to change your lifestyle,
Or even your mentality about
your mentality about it. Because sometimes it's literally body dysmorphia, which I think everyone has from like the get-go.
Oh, wow.
Because it's
I feel like everyone nowadays for sure has it, but
yeah.
growing up, I feel like every girl probably experienced some form of it. Talk to people about these. I know these things, I wish I could tell myself, like, talk to your mom about how you feel about your body, because she probably experienced a lot of the same things you did. I used to hate being, which I'm not fucking really tall nowadays. I'm
For
more
middle
than
school
the average,
times.
but yeah, I was taller than every boy and every girl in middle school and even elementary school, to the point where like I really wanted to be short. And I remember my mom telling me that was me. I always wanted to be short and just not who I was, and that really stuck to me. And after that, I think I started thinking differently. Like, I'm tall and that's fine.
I was super lucky because I had my cousin Emily, who was also
Really
the same.
tall.
Yeah, we were both 5'11" from like 8th grade. So like we went through the same things together, and I think us realizing that people were mostly making fun of us out of jealousy and their own like projections of insecurities, that it made us feel like, you know what, that's your problem. It's not my problem that I'm tall. You know, accepting some things that you can't change about yourself, you own them, and it becomes like confidence that people want. And then that's when you start getting hate, especially when you're younger, is because people realize that it's not an issue for you, it's an issue for them.
Another moment that really sticks out to me about like height in specific, I feel like that was my issue, or that I was too skinny. I remember being in dance, and it was like my first year in dance with like in high school in the dance company, and my coach was like, Melissa, why are you trying to make yourself like everyone else? Because everyone else was really, really short in that class. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're literally like hunching over to be at this like same level.
Yeah.
You are not on their level. Be yourself. And I was like, okay, bitch.
Right.
But she was like, you literally are what everybody wants to look like. Just be it. And I was like, okay. And since then I was like,
straight.
Alrighty.
I mean, I guess self-worth is not tied to what others think of you.
Correct.
Period. That's the
sentence.
sentence. Take it.
I wish I could have told myself, like, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. You don't have to prove yourself to like literally anybody. You are enough. You will continue to be enough. Sexuality, I feel like, is a big. I wish I could have told myself that like the way you view things and the way that you view people is normal. I know your upbringing could have told you otherwise, but you are normal. It's okay. Like, you don't need to be afraid of anything or of anyone saying anything. I just wish I could tell myself that, like, not that it could have came out sooner, but everything you were afraid of, it doesn't have like any validity to it. Like, everything it's gonna be okay. No one sees you differently. Nobody wants anything different from you. Like, you are still the same person. Just because your sexuality has emerged, you're not any different. It doesn't make you a different person. It's also okay to like want to experience different things.
I would say don't try and like change or deny your truth.
Also, if you watch girl on girl porn, it's fine.
Who's talking to men or women?
Most straight women do that anyways, just saying.
Body image, I just feel like, is so deep. Like, I look back on pictures of myself in elementary school because I went through a really awkward phase where I just had the roundest cheeks and and I had a stomach, and like I was a chubby girl living her chubby dreams. Like, I don't know, but like my siblings and cousins did not experience that, at least for like my age group. Like for my closest cousins, when I was going through that, nobody else was. So for me, it was like, well, why did they get to wear 2-piece bathing suits, you know? And I think it was a hard topic for my mom to like get around, because I think everyone knew it was a phase, because I think everyone just knew I was gonna be tall. I don't know how. Like, you know, when they do the doctor's things, they're like, she's 98th percentile or whatever. Don't be hard on yourself, because you're not on the same page as everyone else during developmental stages anyways. Even now, but especially then, like, don't compare yourself to what everyone else is going through,
because your situation's different.
And they're also probably struggling. Tankinis, man. They were my best friend for a while. Okay, body image in high school? Don't let a guy decide
what you're supposed to look like.
What's your worth? I remember guys would say things that I didn't have, that they did not like. Let's say cellulite, whatever. They'd be like, ew, she has cellulite, she's disgusting. In my dumb little high school head, I would be like, ooh, he must think I'm cute because I don't have that. Like, ew, yeah, she's gross. No!
It would build up, like, even stuff about other girls.
Yeah, which is so bad.
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely guilty of that. Don't hate on other women at all. Please learn that as a youngin' kid. I remember, like, the smallest things that people, like, mostly boys would say about other girls, and me comparing myself to whether or not those were true about me, and deciding whether or not I was gross based off of those things.
Yes.
Like, that's dumb. So dumb.
That's something we should tell ourselves. Don't be sending nudes.
Don't be sending nudes.
Especially with your face in it, sweetheart.
Ooh, girl.
Especially with your face in it, sweetheart.
This just makes me think about, like, you know how we're doing this, what you would tell your younger self. Do you think guys, if they would tell their younger self something, would it be like, don't believe the standards of, like, what everyone's talking about? Like,
I think
be nice to girls?
Some guys. I think some guys
y'all should talk to your younger selves.
Y'all should make an episode
about yourselves.
Right now. Because we need that. Girls need that.
Based on fucking body image alone, your body is not fucking everything. Like, you are your brain. You are everything else that you believe in and value.
You can lose a leg and be okay. You can't lose your brain.
I wish I could tell myself to value myself based off of not what I see, but what I believe in. What would you tell your younger self about family?
Cherish the memories you make with your family more, and the time you spend with them more, because I know all you want to do is have fun with your friends, but find a balance, I guess. I don't know. You aren't going to have the same memories you have with your family as you do now versus then. You know? Your memories when you're a kid with your family are very different from memories you make with them now. Now it's just like, oh man, we're getting to the nitty gritty. Like, we're talking about real stuff now. And like, it's funny or like whatever, but when you're little, it's like, oh, like cute things. Like, oh, I remember my brother throwing me in the pool, or like, it's just completely different memories, and in those moments I was not cherishing them.
As morbid as it sounds, I wish I could tell my younger self that your family's not going to live forever. Take that into account and really try to make more out of the situations that you're given. Say yes to doing things with your family. I wish I could have told myself, like, invest more in those relationships, because you're going to want them later in life. Last little topic of what you would tell your let's say your 12-year-old self, your younger self in general.
Career and finances.
Career and finances.
Girl, number one, if you're under the age of 15, 14, don't stress. Okay? I would say at that age, figure out what you're passionate about, what you like to do, without anyone else saying that's what they like to do.
You're good.
15 and up, girl.
Get your shit together.
Buckle up. Where are you? Let's do career.
Okay. I feel like it's very split for me. Like, I wish I could have told myself, like, it's not about how much money you're going to be making, but also, like, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Like, figure out a passion that you can take care of yourself in. I had two different influences growing up. Like, my parents were never people to be like, don't want to do that because it doesn't make enough money. Or my parents were just never like, no, like you should be this, which I know that that's like not everyone's reality, but at the same time, my brothers were like, you should be a nurse, you should be in the medical field because it makes a lot of money, and I'm like, right, but I'm not interested.
But I don't like blood.
I don't like that.
I got issues.
I could just tell myself like, just fucking do what you enjoy and hone in on that. And along with that though, like how would you tell your younger self to like find your passion? Like what does that look like?
When I was younger, I knew I didn't like sports, so my parents kept putting me in them, and I said, no,
Stop.
I don't like these. And so I was lucky enough that they were like, okay, well then you're gonna do something else. Find a class you like online or whatever, and we'll sign you up for it, which I ended up doing Girl Scouts or something. Do like a baking class or like an art class. So I think that, you know, like that's good advice that my parents gave me. Like go online, look up things that maybe you want to like. There's literally online classes now. Skillshare.
Like I feel like I couldn't have told myself anything different because like I'm still all over the fucking
I would have been
place.
real stubborn about it. If I was like laying in my bed at like 12 and like future me came in and said, listen up, I would be like,
Bitch, get out.
get out, who are you?
No, but like not even being stubborn, I feel like I couldn't change the way that I am today because I still am the way that I was then. Like I literally love to do everything and I want to do everything still. I still think that I could be amazing at all these things.
Let me be future you. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Okay.
That's okay. You can like
I am
everything.
just good at everything. It's fine.
You can just be really good at everything. I don't know if this is really like related to the topic, but you don't know everything. I would tell myself. And that's okay.
Honestly, yeah. You don't know everything. You don't need to know everything.
You ain't ever gonna know
You're not
everything.
gonna know everything. And with that, ask questions about the things you don't know. Instead of being stubborn about knowing that you know these things, even though you don't, ask the questions. Be open to like finding someone to mentor you on them, or like just be open in general to like learn more.
Finances, oh my god.
Where like I realized that I am an optimistic person, and I've always believed that I was otherwise, that I was very pessimistic. My brain, I feel like just is like wants to always be realistic, and that's I guess from like training and trauma. I feel like I've come to a realization that like I am an optimistic person for the fact that optimism doesn't mean you're like always positive, even though positivity is literally the juice to life.
That energy.
But optimism is like knowing the circumstance is real and recognizing that this is something that's really happening to you, but choosing to look at it or like choosing to deal with it, choosing to cope with it, and choosing to move on from it. That is an optimistic person. Not that you're like something bad happens to you, you're like everything's okay. Like that's not optimism. It's like knowing that it's not okay, but you will be okay. And what can you do? I wish I could tell myself, learn to be positive, or like learn to hone in on your positivity. You are allowed to feel the way that you feel right now, but you're gonna be okay.
Save money, honestly.
Learn to save money.
Last thing with finances, I would say start a gas credit card. Why is that so funny? I'm like, listen, Becky Sue, you're 13
Listen,
now.
girl,
Start a gas credit card.
You need work on that credit now. Yeah, save your money, try to build your credit. My best advice is try to find a mentor in like high school. And by like a mentor, I mean like literally one of your teachers, somebody to give you some life advice or like career
Someone
advice.
to ask that's like third party in that time of your life.
Yeah.
They don't have to be your mentor forever. Okay, I feel like that was a good place to start of things I would tell myself. I'm sure there's a million more things we could think of.
Also things that we're gonna tell ourselves
now, like our
later in
today
life.
selves.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I wouldn't change anything. We experienced the things we were supposed to experience. This is just more so for whoever stumbles upon our podcast and maybe can prevent something, learn, whatever it is.
Just your gut. Glowing hour, we are going to discuss the lessons we wish we learned when we were younger. These are a little bit more silly and just on the funny side. Welcome back to Glowing Hour. Today we're drinking strawberry margaritas.
What'd you put in it?
So I muddled some strawberries, some frozen strawberries because I didn't have any fresh ones. So I blended them actually first. Obviously tequila. We used silver tequila. I did ice, some, how do you say that leather? Contraire, whatever. It's an orange liqueur. Use any you got. And then I would like recommend putting some basil in this, but I didn't have any. And yeah, salt rin.
And a little bit of booch.
Oh yeah, I put a little splash of golden pineapple by GT's. As well as limes, like you can't forget the limes. I thought that was like pretty like self-explanatory, but
girl, come on now.
Don't
We're giving him a
forget the
recipe. We're giving him a recipe.
but that's what we're drinking today.
Always strong with you, the bartender. Good though. So grab a drink, and hopefully you've learned these lessons already. Haven't? Really
Welcome.
glad you're here. really glad you're here.
Glad we can teach you something. First one, wear sunscreen daily. That's something that I learned as an adult as well.
I knew you're supposed to wear sunscreen, but I didn't know you're supposed to wear face sunscreen. I mean, technically you're supposed to wear sunscreen
All over your
every
body.
day, but like I can't do that. I don't have the patience to rub sunscreen on my shoulders and my legs.
I also don't want to smell like sunscreen.
Do you see all these this leg? I can't. I'm not gonna spend lotion. So I should.
That is because number one, if people think that it's like really bad for your acne, that's like a myth.
Sunscreen?
Yeah. It actually prevents you from having blemishes by protecting your skin from the sun and also pollution depending on the sunscreen you have. Also, it prevents you from getting wrinkles quicker. So wear your fucking sunscreen.
Second tip: take your moisturizer and your skincare to your like chest,
your
decolletage, like.
What is it?
Down to your boobs, bitch. I don't know.
Down here, down to your chest.
Above the nipple, okay? If you can afford it, all over your body.
Also, your hands. Also, don't fucking forget your ears. Put sunscreen on your ears.
I was gonna say your ears.
I was gonna say your ears.
Ended up being like 6 tips, but you're welcome.
Sunscreen.
You got 6 extra ones. Number 2, go pee after you have sex.
Correct.
It'll prevent infections, bacteria from growing in unwanted places. It's just cleaner.
Because it's good for you, and I wish somebody told me, I don't want a yeast infection. I don't want fucking UTI. I said that right? Yeah, UTI.
I don't want an HDMI or whatever. I thought I was dying with a UTI in high school. Like, nobody told me what that was. I had to Google it. Eventually came across UTIs.
Oh my god.
So I was just like pounding cranberry juice. Like, come on.
Yeah. I
That's
remember
not fair.
getting a yeast infection, probably because I wore my bathing suit for too long. And that just happens sometimes.
Yeah, don't wear your bathing suit.
Don't wear your bathing suit too long, especially when it's wet. I remember my sister, she was the only person I could talk to about this. I was like, hey, I have a yeast infection, but I haven't had sex or anything, so like I'm a virgin.
You're like, where does this come
How
from?
did this happen? And
yeah.
she was like, I don't really know. Do you want to go see a doctor? Do you want me to get you some medication? Like,
Oh my
I
god.
get too embarrassed, and that was like the most comforting thing in the world. And I was too afraid to bring it up to my mom because I thought she was gonna like shame me or like tell me that I was having sex and lying. So it's like, I don't know if I can deal with this shit. So I was just asking her. Number 3, which I've stated before in the podcast, your mom is always right. And by your mom, I mean it could be your parents.
Whoever you look up to.
They're always right when they're giving you advice. Which,
thinking back, we're like,
not always true, but for I feel like general concepts of life, bigger issues, they're always right. They're just trying to give you
like growing up anyways.
Yeah, like don't grow up too fast. Friend is not a good friend. That kind of stuff, listen to them.
Okay, number 4. This one's
Literally reading it, I was like,
savage. It says, we wrote these by the way, like we found them, we thought about it. Okay. Boys are worthless. Wait until they're men.
Enough said.
Or vice versa. Girls are worthless. Wait till they're women. Oh, come on.
Correct. Number 5, the pain never lasts. And this, I feel like goes with like emotional pain. I mean, all pain.
I mean, true.
But you will move on. You will live life, and nothing is forever. Everything is temporary. Period.
Maybe scarred for the rest of your life, sweetie. But the pain will pass.
But the pain is gonna pass.
The pain will pass, baby.
It's fine.
Number 6, you can shave your face, but the correct way.
Correct.
I think that's been like a trend more recently, like since college, like freshman year of college. I've heard more about that. So I would assume like high schoolers are trying to dive into that now that it's a thing. Like a lot of girls who are using makeup or guys.
You can shave your face, guys, but don't do it with a regular razor.
Body razor. And don't shave your legs and then go to the face.
Oh no! Hell Heck no.
Don't do that.
Go ahead and buy yourself one of those eyebrow face shavers. It literally has like.
Hit our DMs if you don't know what it looks like. We got you.
Also look up like eyebrow razors. You'll find it. Get yourself a good one. Also get disposables. I wouldn't recommend getting the fucking battery powered ones. The ones that like vibrate. Those scare me.
I accidentally shaved my eyebrow off, actually.
That's how she did it with the electric ones. That's what I'm saying.
It was like a nose trimmer that I had given my ex-boyfriend, and I got excited. I was like, oh, I'm going to do my eyebrow real quick right before I go out of the bathroom. It didn't have the little clipper attachment.
So she shaved the eyebrow.
Lost half an eyebrow. Don't do that. Check the attachments.
Check the attachments. Going along with that, number 7, hair is normal and okay. Let me explain.
Yes.
Listen, I'm a person who can let my hair, my leg hair, my area hair, my armpit hair grow real long if I want to. But sometimes I just feel like I need to clean it up and feel good about it. But if you don't want to shave your armpit hair, do not let, or any other hair, do not let anybody tell you that you need to do that, period.
I think I'm on the opposite side of that spectrum.
I know what I'm saying, like.
So, like, for me, I like to be soft and smooth, and I truly don't believe this is something that society ingrained in me or something. I just really like the feeling of being really soft. And I don't do it for anyone but myself. I'm not sitting there like, ooh, I'm gonna see a boy tonight, I need to shave my legs, or like, whatever. I'm just like, it makes me feel good.
Yeah. Do what makes you feel good. Like I said, I feel like I'm in the middle. Like, I can get really lazy and just, like, not want to do it. And also, like, have no need to do it because I'm not trying to impress anybody. Also, the person I love doesn't give a fuck.
Number 8, drink water.
Drink your water, kids. For many purposes. First of all, our bodies are mostly made up of water, about 70% or something like that. So, if you're dehydrating yourself, you're probably not gonna feel good. I promise you, drinking a ton of water will be life-changing. I feel like it fixes up your mood, it fixes up your energy, it fixes up your eating habits,
Your physical
feeling. Just water is amazing. It literally is life. Water is life. As we're drinking.
I was gonna say, as someone who dehydrates themselves every once in a while.
As I'm drinking straight up poison in a cup. Number 9, diets don't work.
Lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
That's
View
the
your
word.
eating habits as lifestyle changes, not as diets, because diets are just like fads. They're not meant to last. They are not sustainable.
Because it's like, if you're going, let's say you say for a month you're not drinking soda. Okay, the month ends and then what? You're just gonna go back to drinking soda and then your results are gone. Like, no.
No shade all tea. People who do like keto, girl, that's not sustainable.
Yeah, I think if it's, maybe it's something where
It might be good for you to, I feel like, for
Cleanse?
example, I just don't like those things just because I feel like for example, like Whole30 or like keto, those things are, I feel like they're cool to teach people about nutrition in a sense where like they learn about labels, they learn about the foods that they're putting in their mouths or their bodies, but they're not necessarily something that you should be following for the rest of your life because it's not sustainable. It's not something that is going to make you feel happy for the rest of your life. And eating is like one of the most like personal, most like intimate things that you can be doing with yourself. So like, just like, it's weird. Diets don't work. They're just not sustainable.
So going off of that, number 10, you are not the exception. You're probably the rule.
Explain.
Yeah, so by that, I mean, if you've seen He's Just Not That Into You, then you totally get what I'm talking about.
I have seen it, but I don't know why I can't think of that.
Okay, it's like, basically just because someone said, like, oh, well, for me it worked. Like, don't live your life thinking, like, that something's going to work for you just because one person out of, like, a million it worked for.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so it's like when people say, well, my boyfriend cheated on me and we ended up getting married. Don't use that to base it off of your own personal experiences. You're not the exception, you're the rule. The rule is, if you believe that cheating is a deal breaker, then it's a deal breaker. Like, they are the exception to where it worked out for them.
Number 11, which hole does the tampon go in? So,
I'm not gonna answer that because I don't know how to explain that without a diagram.
second hole.
Okay, but the diagram would help somebody who's actually genuinely confused.
Find a diagram.
Somebody ask your doctor.
The thing is, I feel like yet again, I feel like sex education
has failed us
again. I did see a diagram, but a diagram is not enough. I'm not saying go ahead and point it out where mine is, but
you'll figure it out. You'll know what feels better.
What feels right. Please don't put it in those other places.
It'll feel uncomfortable for a second, but you'll get used to it.
Are we on 12 now?
I think so. Number 12. Don't wash your hair every day.
Absolutely not. It's okay when you're little. It's okay when you're growing up. But your hair deserves a break. She is tired. She does not want to be stripped away of her oils every day.
Wash like every 3 days.
At least. Every other day.
At least every other day. Okay. So leave a day in between washes.
At most, figure your shit out. I do about 5 days, which seems extreme. Sometimes a week to some people. But my hair has been trained to not be so oily.
Yeah.
Throughout.
The less you wash it, the less oil your hair produces. Like the same thing with your skin.
Yep.
The more you moisturize and keep up with your skin, the less oils it has to produce to overcompensate for what's not there.
Yeah. Totally. Number 13, don't cut your own bangs.
I could say cut your own hair if you'd like, depending on how old you are. Because I cut my own hair when I need to. But bangs has never turned out well for me.
I had a great experience cutting my hair.
See, it depends.
Middle school.
You're the exception, not the rule, ma'am. You're the exception. She had a great experience cutting her hair, apparently.
Again, talking about my scene phase, or when I wanted to be a scene kid. I used to cut my bangs real cute. I had cut my friends' bangs real cute. Everyone came to me to cut their bangs.
Wow. I cut my bangs up to here. And I had to pin them. I got scissor happy, so I started like just keeping. I was like, just a little shorter. Just a little shorter. And then they ended up
they're like right here. 14. You don't have to wait 30 minutes after eating to go swimming.
That's a myth.
That's a fucking myth. And
our parents
lied. That's really hurtful.
I don't see the. Okay.
I mean, you don't want your fucking kid to drown, but I think it's just because they were tired of watching over us.
Mom, look.
Yeah. It's like, bitch, shut up. Just eat your food and then wait 30 minutes.
Give me another 30 minutes to talk cheese in it with your hand.
They said, give me a lunch break.
How do taxes work? I still don't know.
I still don't know, girl, but
I know there's lots of secrets that I don't know about.
That I don't know about, but you should teach me.
The legal ones, the legal loopholes.
I mean, they tried to teach us in like high school.
Did they? I didn't get any.
Economics?
Nope. Okay, economics, literally all they talked about was like systematic.
Like voting. I mean, my teacher tried to teach us about taxes, but not like full on. It was just more like, you're gonna have to pay taxes one day.
Yeah, mostly because we didn't care.
Yeah. Also, like, I feel like something that they should have implemented really well in like economics and stuff is like truly how to like go about your bank account, how to worry about your income and making savings.
Maybe like a freshman year of college class too.
Yeah, just something about like, I don't know. Like, that's what I feel like home ec used to be about, you know, like how to do adult things that you don't necessarily learn.
Like how to write a check.
Yeah, like how to write a check, how to fucking sew some clothes when you rip a hole.
How to vote.
How to vote.
I feel like there's 18-year-olds who don't know how to vote.
Next, how does credit work? This is a long one, but basically, you know, don't be late on payments. Do not go over 30% of your total spending. What do you call it? Like total
balance? Yeah, your spending limit.
Limit. Just your limit. Don't go over 30% of your limit because that will bring your credit down.
The limit does exist.
It does exist. The age of how long, like your credit age is really important. So like every time you take out a new credit card or open up a new account,
your credit
age goes down.
If your parents are leasing you a car, make yourself a co-leaser. Because even though they're making the payments, you're building credit.
Yeah.
So that looks good.
Small things. There's other big things about like paying things on early, like paying things twice in a month. So like early and then again in the middle of the month. That brings up your credit even more.
Parents just always said, like, I mean, number one, don't spend money you don't have. Number one. Number two, at my young credit days, like high school, beginning of college, I only used it for gas.
Yeah.
It really sets a really good like mental boundary for yourself to be like, oh, I don't have that money to spend on anything else but gas. Next, shave in the direction that your hair grows and not against it.
Go with the grain, not against.
I learned that in Selves. You can shave against. I shave my legs against the grain, and if you want a really close shave,
You got it.
carefully shave against the grain. But the first
swipe,
except on my legs, I don't follow that rule.
yeah, I did once and it just like wasn't effective. We're talking about other areas,
It
more
takes
sensitive
forever.
areas. Go
Yeah.
with the grain first, and then you can go against. Not your face though. Period. What healthy love in relationships look like?
Maybe your parents aren't the prime example.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the case.
And
Tell me that.
Mom, be real with me. Tell me y'all ain't the ones.
That's hard.
I know, it's
That's
hard.
gotta be really hard as a parent.
But I guess also like looking at the fact that no relationship's gonna be perfect. I think when you're a kid, you believe that there's a perfect one out there, and there isn't.
And you think it's your parents.
I just think that everyone has issues in their relationships.
I think what
And-
we're saying, because don't be transparent with your kids about your issues, because that's too much. I would say just maybe don't make it personal, but say, like, I wish my mother, whatever, would say, like, you know, this is, like, maybe some qualities you should look for in a healthy relationship. Like, when I
Yeah.
got my first boyfriend or something, being like, well, do you feel mostly happy when you're with him? Which would probably be annoying, and I'd be like, yes. But I have no idea, but I did sound like her. Anyways, you know, but at least I'd think about it later.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. We're not saying anybody's parents are or aren't a good example.
But I think we do learn from our parents' relationship,
yeah.
and we take on the trauma that they do in their relationships without really knowing and thinking that that is equal to love, which
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
the trauma isn't, but the good parts are.
Next one. Always bring a condom. Yes. Girls too.
STDs exist. You don't want them. With that said, get tested. Be safe. Be safe. Next, menstrual cups are key. This is something I've learned really recently, and Sam's been on this train before for longer than I have.
Yeah.
Also, menstrual cups are just like a new thing
Yeah.
in period hygiene products
New for us, and then newer in general.
in general. That's what I meant, like in general. But they are life changing, everybody.
Telling you, don't.
You don't have to change it like very often.
If you have to pee a lot and your tampon string is constantly getting in the way or whatever the case,
Girl,
let me tell you, to the promised land,
it's right there.
it's literally a search away.
Listen.
Honey pot, plug.
Honey Pot, get your cups from Honey Pot.
Target.
They got you. What I'm gonna say is the learning curve is totally worth it. Please don't be afraid. Keep trying. Also, different brands cups work for different people. Currently wearing it right now. TMI.
Okay, ma'am.
But it is great. Live your life. Don't let your period bring you down.
Amen. Next, don't leave your drinks unattended.
My mom's told me this one since I was very little. Even at like fucking kid parties, like don't leave your drink unattended.
Good for her.
Yeah,
Damn.
but I think it became more relevant when I was older. When I
Yeah.
started to go party. She knew I was partying. I never lied to her really about going to parties. No.
My parents didn't let me.
I mean, I didn't necessarily say I was drinking, but I'm sure she got the point. I was like, they're having a party. Parents aren't really there. We're having a party. Period.
The first time my dad let me go to a party, I don't think my mom was in town. He said, you can be there for an hour. I'm picking you up at 11.
You said, okay, Dad.
I said, okay. Mind you, I'd been to a bunch of parties before that, but I was like,
This is the one where you had permission.
I'm like, I decided to say, okay, I'm gonna ask my parents, and what do they say? You get to be there for an hour.
You're like, never doing that again.
I was like, how am I supposed to get into any trouble with an hour? What the fuck? I did one Jello shot.
You said I gotta do this quick. But anyway, such important thing to state, because I feel like nowadays especially, I mean it's always been a thing, but like sex trafficking and all that is real, guys. It is scary. It happens in many different forms. People you know, people you don't know. Keep yourself safe. Keep your drink close. Make your own drink at parties. Watch them make your drink. Never leave your drink unattended.
Also, don't trust girls just because they're girls to watch your drink.
Oh, yeah.
Also, if you're not with them, I'm not saying don't trust them at all or anything, but
Be careful.
don't just be like, oh, they're girls, they're sweet, they're all together,
Yeah.
I trust them. Like, that's not always the case. That's how they get you sometimes.
My mom always said, like, don't even trust your friends, because I was like, period.
Oh my god.
She always told me, like, if, like, you leave your drink unattended and you forgot, don't worry about it, just go get a new one, and, like, you'll deal with the consequences of, like, paying for it later. Like, I'd rather you do that and not die,
Not be missing.
than, like, worrying about how much a drink costs. And I said, you're right, Mom.
That's good advice.
Good advice.
That's good advice.
Follow that. Next, share your location with a close friend at all times.
Yes.
This is very much possible these days. Back in the day when we were kids, not possible. But now you can, and you should.
Yeah.
Someone should always have your location. The world is scary.
Yes. Someone knowing where you are always, especially if you're dating and you're going on a date with someone you don't know, you let them know, hey, I'm going on a date with someone new. I should be home by this time, whatever, this is our plan. Can you just check my location every once in a while?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't ever be too safe. To leave you on a very high note, do your Kegels. keep things right.
Listen, people with vaginas, do your Kegels.
It makes a difference, okay? When you're 80 and
Keep your pelvic floor lifted.
if you have to pee, you ain't gonna be able to hold it when you're 80 if you ain't doing your Kegels right now. Okay?
Period.
Okay? Okay. I'm
Okay.
glad we agree. So, yeah.
I'm like,
We're really glad we left you on a high note. I hope that was 23, number one, because
might have been less.
we're not really capable of counting right now. As in, I'm too lazy, honestly, to count right now. But I hope you knew all of those.
Yeah. But if you didn't, I'm glad we taught you something.
Yes.
They're really silly, and they're supposed to be silly, guys. It is what it is.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode. This is episode 5.
I think so. We're gonna have to stop counting eventually. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you go ahead and give us a review, comment,
Subscribe to our channel, the podcast.
and keep following our journey on Glow Up or Get Out.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys in next week's episode. See you then.